It's not because there is something wrong with people or with us. It just got into the completion point and we wanted a change. So, today we are sitting in the camper. It has been up to about 10 minutes ago. A beautiful sunny day, of course windy. So now we are inside and we are actually spending the second day with our friends in England. I decided to shoot this video because we had the questions like why we decided to spend 1 month in the motorhome. This is not a decision that we made a month ago. It has always been our dream with my husband Martin since we got to know one another. So that's number one. And number two, we got into the point in our life where we realized that where we are living, or where we were living, in a flat, in a beautiful area where we were so happy, was not fulfilling us anymore whatsoever. And it's not because there is something wrong with that area. It's not because there is something wrong with people or with us. It just got into the completion point and we wanted a change. And we tried last year. We went to France for 1 month. We do work away, Martin, was it? Yeah, we did work away. It means that with 2 of our kids, Elias at that time was 3-year-old, and we worked for other people 5 hours per day, 5 days a week for food and accommodation. So you actually do not need a lot of money for that. And you can experience the feeling of the country. What we missed last year the most was the feel that I just want to sleep in my own bed linen. I want to drink coffee from my own mug. I want my kids to have their toys. And therefore we chose the motorhome this year. Of course, it got a little bit complicated because it's a big thing. We need to walk everywhere, literally, because you just cannot go everywhere with the motorhome. So it's more walking, more active. We already in 2 weeks, we haven't been 2 weeks yet.
No.
Haven't we? We already lost weight, which is good. There have been some ups and downs of living in a camper, for example, that you know that your toilet is full and you need to empty it, that you need water, and that you need food and you need to get to the supermarket, that you need energy, and the biggest problem is gas bottles, actually. So we have been through ups and downs, and obviously that incident what happened with our rear mirror was the one that stopped us a little bit, and we decided to visit our friends. And we are having a nice time, and whenever we started meditating and asking ourselves, like, why are we here? What's the main reason? And we got that voice from above, Martin and me, like, observe, just look around and observe. So we actually don't know what we are going to do. And our friends like, you do not have plans, and people are saying, you lost your mind, you've got 2 kids, they need security. There is no security in this world anyway. And I have never ever seen my kids so happy as this year. Even we struggled, even we cried. When I see Johanna, how happy she is dancing on the beach, how happy she got today, because we contacted actually a ballet school in Chichester in England, just inquiring if she would be able to get to this school and study, and we got the reply that yes, and she's going to visit this school next week. It's so amazing to see that we can communicate. In France it was different because the language was such a big barrier. We loved France. We loved everything, didn't we? Mm-hmm. But yes. I can see Johanna doesn't have any problems. We come somewhere, she immediately finds friends. She wasn't like that in France. She was shy. She she was aware of the language barrier. Before we set on the journey, did we? We didn't know why we wanted to go there. We just needed a change, and we imagined. When I met Martin, and we were communicating via Skype, he used to read me from the book. You remember that?
Yes,
What was
yes,
the
yes.
name of the book?
It was a fantasy
Fantasy
storybook.
Fantasy
Yeah.
storybook. And I remember whenever that hero wanted to travel, the travel through the timelines and to the other worlds, realities, never happened when they were sitting. There was a woman and a man, but every time when they were actually moving. So
Yeah.
we had that feeling with Martin that we need to get on moving, and we'll see what it brings in our life.
Yeah, indeed,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
So yes, it's incredibly difficult. We we started last Thursday the 27th. We got into the camper, and it feels like 1 month.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that we have experienced so many
Things in such a very short time,
Short
that
time.
you don't realise just how
Yeah.
much you have experienced.
Yeah.
And how much
We
you've
met
gone through.
brilliant people on the journey. This is what I can say. The guys in Belgium who filled our gas bottles
Oh,
were
yeah.
just mind-blowing. Angels. And this is the time, or whenever we met some other motorhomes, they were
Yeah.
very friendly.
Yeah.
The guys, they were Germans, weren't they?
yeah.
German guys that we met in Holland. They were incredibly helpful, even they didn't speak language,
Yeah.
only a little English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were happy. They waved goodbye, and
Yeah.
they were conscious of the fact that, and this is what I found out when I was sort of doing some other digging into a blog and everything, that a Facebook page and everything that we're part of. Doesn't matter what language you speak. If you are driving a motorhome, you have become part of
Yeah.
what I can call a brotherhood.
Yes.
You become part of a community, and if there is another motorhomer that needs some help, doesn't matter what language you speak, you try and help. And that's been true so far.
Yeah.
We've met a couple of guys coming in the other direction, and it's all hand waves.
Definitely, very friendly.
There is a camaraderie.
And another a negative point, we have discovered that people do not like motorhoming. Like other people who do not have motorhomes.
The drivers on the roads and things.
It's like when you park a motorhome somewhere and you're not welcome, you're not in a dedicated car park.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Yeah.
So not everybody likes motorhoming.
Yeah.
So that was nice. We got people asked, because this is not cheap. Renting a motorhome, driving it, and going through Europe is incredibly expensive. I would say that we could have bought a new car for that at this point. But the question is is it worth it? Or was it worth it?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, again, reading some of these Facebook people and have you, it's almost a lifestyle. It's not something that you. It's the same with sort of like camping. It's either something that you enjoy or you don't.
Yeah.
You have to experience it at some point in your life to go camping in a tent. In nature, and put the tent up, and especially if you put it up in the rain, etc., etc. Some people love it. Some people experience it and go And it's the same with motorhoming. You've got to experience it to go, yeah, I love this, or no.
So the question is do we love it?
I would say we're 50-50 at the
Yeah,
moment.
we are 50-50. There are some nice times in the motorhome when you park somewhere, like in Holland. When we were in Holland, we were incredibly happy.
Yeah.
In England, because the roads are so narrow, and we've got the A-Class,
Which
which
is a little bit wider and different sets.
it's so incredibly difficult. So and so.
Yeah, but one thing I will say that on the Facebook page that I'm talking about, there was a a request from a couple of Canadian people wanting to come over to Europe for a year. And one of the replies was, yeah, a van is easier to drive, but if you're, because they're coming over with 2 dogs as well.
As well, I mean, like, our 2 kids are not dogs.
But anyway, but the answer came back, if you really want to have comfort and the space and etc., go for an A-class.
Yeah.
That was two people said that.
It's really comfortable. I have to admit that we can have a shower if we are desperate. We can have a shower. We have a toilet. It's nice and warm. It's nice and light. It's comfortable. It's spacious. You can cook. You can do anything.
And that, I think, has been the biggest surprise for you.
Yeah.
In that, how warm it has been. You know, it's.
The negative is then when we are moving, I am stressed, especially when we had that accident. The following day, when we were on the beach, I was so scared that when Martin started driving, I basically burst in tears and I was crying as I was navigating because we just didn't want to miss the point. So I was really, really down about it because I was scared. Now I feel a little bit more confident, and it's because we haven't been in England for
a long
time. So now we got used to it a little bit, used to it, to driving and etc. So the point is, do we regret going on the journey? No. Even it costs us a lot of money. Even we experienced things that we didn't think that we would. I think it will be a life changer.
Yeah.
And I really want to encourage people doing something in their life that they have always been dreaming about.
Absolutely.
And they haven't got there.
Absolutely.
Just go for it.
For both of us, we're doing these things for in other people's minds. We're doing this late in life.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Age is not an issue.
Age is not an issue.
Money is always also not an issue,
no.
because you can find out the way that it's cheaper, like we did last year. Yeah, work away, even with the kids. Like somebody says, you can't go and travel with the kids when we spent last year on our month travel, including the flight tickets and car rental and all the bookings, 700 euros per month. We spent more when we are at home. So we rented our flat. We were actually zero last year. This year is different because we decided not to rent our flat. Well, we are renting it, but for free to our friends. Of course, they can enjoy the high touches. So we do not regret it, but it's not easy. But I still want to encourage you. It's time to change life. It's time to see the planet, how it is changing. And
I mean, it can be something that happened as simple as watching a program on TV or being involved in something and going, you know what, I want to go there.
Yeah. If you want to go somewhere where you have always been dreaming about or thinking about, you need to experience it. And therefore we chose the motorhome because we wanted to go to England. And we wanted to experience England. Of course, we could have driven our car and rented hotels. It's not the same because you cannot experience that country. It's like a hotel thingy thing.
The ability to park up next to a beach.
Yeah, you cannot do that.
You can't do that if you're if you need to go into hotels.
Yes.
To park up next to a beach and have the ability to stay there overnight. And wake up with the sunrise or even a sunset in the evening, and being right next to the beach.
And this is one of the things, that we know that we want to live by the sea. That's one of the criteria that we are not going to compromise. And it doesn't really matter if it is Holland, England, France. We have been even talking about north of Spain, which many years ago we spent some time near Santoña and Santander. We loved it there. it must be the sea. Okay, so I've been talking for such a long time. It's going to be a long video, but I just had it in my mind. Just go for it. Don't listen to all your relatives or friends. You can be mad like us. Have a good time.